5:50 left to play in the third period. The New York Giants 2nd and 7 from their 43. Again, Johnson, 45, 50, 45, down to the 40 to the 38-yard line before Charlie Waters made the stop.
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, guys, it's draft day. Yeah. Oh, man. These 3 days, I mean, obviously, Thursday, obviously, no duh, if the first rounder is huge, But, day two, we've got 3 picks. We got a second round. Unless we trade or something like that, but we got a second, we got 2/3. Those 3 picks are huge. We got 5 picks in the top 3 rounds. Huge! But then also, the third day, that's where you really make your team. If you can get a couple guys on the third day, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, a couple guys that could make the team, maybe, be productive starters in the future, that's huge. So, these 3 days, very, very exciting. Now, the interesting thing, especially for the New York Giants, is that, obviously 2 of the top 7 picks, you don't know. It makes it kind of exciting. You don't know. I'm hearing different things, who's going to go first. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm like last year, Trevor Lawrence. You could write up any kind of story you want. Well, Jacksonville, I don't know. They might want to build up the offensive line. Jacksonville, I don't know. They might want to trade out. No, they're taking Trevor. There's Chase Young. Okay, so if Chase Young wasn't 1, Chase Young's going to be number 2. There's certain guys. What you hear, Aiden Hutchinson is going to be top 1, 2, maybe, But he's not a Chase Young. There's no, guy. It's like, oh my, man, I wish we can get that guy. There's a lot of good depth throughout the draft. There's some, there's obviously some real good players, but as far as, right now, just bona fide superstars, I said in drafts in the past, there were better players. I hear a lot of these draft people talking and all. They're comparing like the top 10 of last year. The guys in last year's compared to like the top 10 maybe this year. I said last year's draft is like so much better. Just look at the wide receivers. Trevor Lawrence was there, obviously so much better than any quarterback that's coming out now. How many the wide receivers got taken last year. So it's exciting, very, very exciting, as I say, because you don't know who number 1's going to be. And you don't know, things happen. All of a sudden, maybe I'm hearing things like Ekwonu might be number 1. Who knows? But then does that set a little, a run on the tackles? All of a sudden, maybe 2 out of the first 4 picks are tackles, and then the Giants have to take Cross, which isn't such a bad thing. Or maybe they have to take Neal, which isn't such a bad thing. I'm also hearing, it was about a week ago. It was on the Giants, their podcast. They had a couple guys on, and one of them saying he thinks possibly, what he was hearing. This was last week though. His 4 picks could be edge rushers. And then I heard him like this week, and they were talking. He keeps saying Trayvon Walker. It's just flying up the draft boards. And he wouldn't be surprised if he was the number 1 pick. Supplanting Hutchinson. Trayvon Walker. So who knows? But with the Giants anyway, right? There's only, I mean, because you're going 7 picks, unless they trade back, which we'll go over that in a minute. But I mean, there's only so many guys that that we could possibly look at. I mean, like Kyle Hamilton. Where do they have him at? I mean, especially because they only got 2 guys on the roster who are safety, so they need to get a safety. They can certainly get a safety, obviously, in the free agency, the college free agents draft. After the draft is over, they can pick somebody up there, so maybe get some depth. But I mean, they're going to probably quite possibly want to get a safety, who can, get some reps, So I mean, where do they have Kyle Hamilton? Then I said, then you got the tackles. All right, there's only 3 tackles pretty much at 5 or 7, unless the Giants trade back to like number 20 with the Steelers, or maybe to number 16 with the Saints. But I mean, there's only three tackles. I said, unless they trade back, maybe trade their number 7 pick and go back there, and maybe they take Trevor Penning, Bernard Raymond, maybe. Who knows? But I mean, in the top 7, I mean, you're looking at Cross, Ekwonu, or Neal. Boom, that's it. Because it was like last year when they were picking at, it's like, you could put a whole bunch of guys in there. Oh, maybe this guy, that. But here you look just the top 7. I mean, with the cornerbacks, I mean, Trent McDuffie, I don't know if he's a top 7, but I mean, you got Stingley or a little sauce on the side, Gardner. There's only 2 cornerbacks for the most part, the top 7, period. All right, I said you got Hamilton maybe in the top 7. They got the 3 tackles. All right. I don't know if one of the linebackers, Lloyd or Nakobe Dean, is a top 7 pick. I don't really know. Jameson Williams, he's been kind of, I'm seeing and hearing all, he's been kind of moving up, the wide receiver from Alabama, kind of moving up draft boards. He might possibly go in the top 10 now from what I was seeing. I don't know if the Giants, I mean, they're going to be taking a wide receiver at number 5 or number 7. I just really can't see that happening. I said, the only other thing what I said would be, the edge rushers, right? You got Aiden Hutchinson, Jermaine Johnson from Florida State, Kayvon Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker, or Carl Loftus. I'm not hearing a whole boatload of him about being a top like 6 or 7 pick. I mean, he's probably more in the teens, if anything else. But there's a lot of questions going on here. Where's the first quarterback going to go? What does Carolina do? Now, Carolina, the thing is, because with Wool, he's had 2 bad seasons. He needs to do something, okay, to get a decent record going, or he might be gone. I mean, like Judge had 2 crappy seasons, he's gone. Wool, 2 crappy seasons, he's still there. Now, the thing is that, I mean, you can say what you want. It just seems like Sam Darnold's just, I thought, obviously, I'm wrong about a lot of things. I was wrong about Darnold. I thought he was going to be a decent quarterback. But he proved me wrong. So, I mean, Carolina, are they going to ride out with Darnold and John? Well, we stunk last year. We're going to keep the same quarterback and all. Well, maybe we'll be a playoff team this year. So, I mean, they could use a quarterback. Now, I mean, taking a quarterback at number 6, I don't know. But if you take a quarterback at number 6, as long as nobody trades up in front of them or anything like that. I mean, if they take somebody, I don't know if they're going to be able to actually be able to step in, right? Like if you take Malik Willis, I don't know if he's going to be able, he wouldn't, to step in right away day 1 and be the starting quarterback. You're asking for a lot of lumps there. I mean, he's going to be taking his lumps. If he starts taking his lumps, that means they're going to have a bad record. If they have a bad record, Rule might be out of there. So he's trying to maybe do something to save his job. So they need a quarterback, but so he might want to pick in, go in a different direction to try to help save, his job. But I mean, also help save his job, he's going to need a quarterback. So I mean, they're in a tough position. Where's the first tackle going to go off the board? I said I was seeing things as far as like maybe Ekwonu going off number 1. I mean, I'd be very interested. I said, if you get a tackle going on, then maybe you get a run on tackles. Somebody takes, maybe Stingley, maybe the Texans take Stingley, or maybe the Jets take Stingley at number 3, or the Texans at 3 or number 4, then all of a sudden, you got maybe Sauce Gardner, so might be a run on him. What do the Giants do? If they got, say, Sauce Gardner there and they got a tackle there they really like, it's like, let's take the tackle because Carolina needs a tackle. Let's take and hope maybe Sauce Gardner makes it to number 7. Very, very interesting. I said I heard the first 4, and this was last week, could be edge rushers, could be like Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Walker, and Jermaine Johnson. They all could go. It said who would be the first cornerback to go. I mean, I'm hearing good things about Stingley. I'm hearing good things about Sauce Gardner. Now, of late, I'm hearing more and more good things about Stingley, even though the past couple seasons he hasn't had phenomenal seasons. The wild card, Kyle Hamilton, hearing a lot of good things about him earlier on, but now as time's going on, is he going to go in the top 10? Who knows? I mean, the Giants could certainly use another safety like him. Or they could certainly pick up a safety in the second round, too. Who will be the first wide receiver to go? Now, I'm sure that'll probably be after pick 7. I can't see any, from just all the mocks and all that and everything I'm saying. I don't see any wide receiver going in the top 7. But, I mean, once you get a wide receiver to go, sometimes and all of a sudden there's a run on wide receivers. Will anybody trade up for a quarterback? Will there be a trade, or when will the first trade go? I was also seeing that maybe, because to get into the top 10, you got to pay a price, to get into the top 10. And, is there anybody worth that much to trade into the top 10 for, to pay a hefty price? Because if you're I'm saying the Steelers are like number 20, just say they want to trade down with the Ravens. Well, I guess they can't trade down with them. Have a hard time trading down with the opponent in your own division now. But or say maybe they would trade with the Eagles, right? They go from 20 to 15. That'll cost you your pick number 20, and it'll cost you something else. But if they want to trade with the Giants from 20 down to 7, that's going to cost them a couple first rounders, something else, So, is there anybody they want to trade down that far with? I heard Tomlin, did like Malik Willis. So we'll have to wind up waiting to see. Do the Giants trade back? You're going to need 2 to tango. The Giants are going to have to want to trade back. They're going to have to want to feel that they're getting good compensation in return. One thing, you hear negative things sometimes about Thibodeau. You hear a lot of, could be all BS out there. A lot of people, I heard a story about the Giants being turned off by Thibodeau. Maybe his attitude and stuff like that. It could all be just total BS. You just put stories out. Because writers are looking for stories. So somehow, they talk to somebody in the Giants organization, whatever it is, and all that. And then we're not really impressed with Thibodeau. Just something about him. It just really kind of turning us off. Hopefully that guy types that down. Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay, gotta go. He puts out a story. Giants turned off by Thibodeau. It could be all BS. You know what I mean? This is the last thing that you really want to do is tip your hat. Who you like. You know what I'm saying? Or you say somebody, we like that Charles Cross. Boy, I'll tell you. Whew, man. Oh, okay. And the guy types, okay. I gotta go. I gotta write a story. Giants love Cross. They'll pick him if he's there. It could be all total BS. You don't know. And as I said, you don't want to tip your hat. Who you're interested in. Now, as I said with Thibodeau, he's kind of interesting. It's interesting to see how far he falls. I saw another story about apparently somehow the Seahawks were talking to Shane about maybe trading up, I think, to number 7, going from number 9 to number 7. So apparently they want to jump in front of the Falcons. Now, I'm not sure if that's to grab a maybe a quarterback, because they could use a quarterback. The Steelers GM, he at a press conference, he was talking about, we're looking at, possibly, maybe trading back, maybe going from 20, maybe back to 32 if possible. We also looked at maybe trading up, like maybe from 20, maybe down to number 7. So he brought up number 7. He brought up the Giants. So possibly, why 7? Why not 4? Why not 3? He said 7. So he's possibly maybe looking to trade up in front of the Falcons and Seahawks, who might possibly looking to maybe draft a quarterback. So that might be the hot spot, number 7. That's where the quarterbacks might, if somebody trades up for the Giants, it might be number 7. I said unless somebody wants to jump in front of Carolina at number 5, But I'm saying, you got the Falcons, you got the Seahawks. The other two teams I hear a lot about, the Commanders could possibly use one too, but I don't see the Giants trading with the Commanders. But you got the Saints. Now all of a sudden, they did a little willing and dealing with the Eagles. Now all of a sudden, the Saints have 2 first-rounders. They got picks number 16 and number 19. Is that enough? Why did they get 2 first-round picks in this draft, right? They traded away extra. The Eagles did very well for themselves in this trade, very, very well. Why did the Saints give up, what they did to get 2 for in this? It's not loaded with blue chippers. It's not like the Saints have picks number 3 and 4 or something. 2 first-rounders is great, but it's not chock full of unbelievable great talent at number 16 and 19. Why would they get 2 first-rounders? Is that maybe to trade up? Yeah, maybe with the Giants, I said at number 7. I said then with the Steelers. The Steelers are going to have to give up, to go from 20 to 7. This year's first-rounder, next year's first-rounder. The thing is that, because, with Mike Tomlin, the dude's an unbelievable coach. He can take freaking trash and turn it into gold. The guy is an absolute phenomenal coach. And, the thing about with the Steelers, they're drafting 20 this, but if you get their first rounder from next year, it could be pick number 26, pick number 27. So, they're going to have to give up quite a bit to wind up moving up like that. But the Giants, at number 5, it's almost guaranteed, that they're going to get a tackle. Now obviously a lot of what you think, obviously you certainly could be wrong. So unless the Giants trade back, a lot of what people saying and all I'm hearing and reading and everything, number 5 will probably wind up being a tackle, because they don't want to gamble at maybe number 7. I think getting a tackle, getting a bookend tackle. I said unless Ekwonu somewhere along the line you get him and maybe he's not quite the tackle you want him to be, you put him in a guard. Having Andrew Thomas and Ekwonu next to each other, whew, oh, baby. Now, Charles Cross is the best pass protector in the whole class. And Evan Neal is could possibly be the best overall, maybe down the road. He's coming from an unbelievable organization, unbelievably coached, that and all. But Charles Cross is definitely the best, right now, best pass protector. So, I don't know. With the Dable offense from, with the Bills didn't run the ball a whole heck of a lot. And when they did, it was Josh Allen running the ball, not so much the running backs. So, the Giants might want to maybe, if Cross is there, maybe get him, put him at maybe right tackle. And Andrew Thomas will have 2 great tackles for 10 years, hopefully. We'll see. Then, then the interesting thing will be pick 7 if they don't trade, right? I said the only thing I can say would be an edge rusher or a cornerback. That's pretty much. I don't see Dean or Lloyd, the linebackers, their value being up 5 or 7. I can't see any of the wide receivers' values being up there. I mean, maybe Jameson Williams, maybe in the top 10. I mean, because it seems like his stock is rising. Unless they see something with the Giants see something with Kyle Hamilton. But you can certainly get a nice safety in the second round or third round. Maybe not the Kyle Hamilton, but, But, I mean, pretty much I said, what I wind up seeing is as long as they don't trade back, okay, they're pretty much guaranteed one of the top 3 tackles, okay? And then if all those good edge rushers are gone, Johnson, Walker, Thibodeau, and Hutchinson, if those 4 guys are gone by the time we get to 7, all right, then you got to figure there's probably going to be at least 1, maybe 2 tackles taken. So then the Giants will have their pick, maybe a cornerback. They can have Gardner or Stingley. I mean, because if they're trying to get rid of Bradbury, and let's not forget that too. I mean, possibly, there could be some type of a trade, right? I mean, the Giants trade Bradbury and this pick, and they get another pick from another team. I was also hearing possibly Deebo Samuels. The Jets might be offering the 49ers some kind of nice size deal. I mean, as far as paying Deebo money, and obviously you have to pay the 49ers. So I mean, the Jets have picks number 4 and number 10. Now I don't know if they would wind up giving away one of those for Deebo Samuel, but I mean, if they're willing to give away pick maybe number 10 to the 49ers, and they're willing and they got the money to pay Deebo, that's a possibility there as well too. So could have a trade going on there as well too. But I mean, I said Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Walker, and Jermaine Johnson. All right, then you got 1, 2, 3 tackles, and then you got the 2 cornerbacks. All right, and I said I'm not even including Hamilton in there or anything like that. I mean, there's like 9 good guys there. I mean, the Giants, look for the Giants, between 5 and 7, right, to get one of those 3 tackles. They'll probably walk out of there with Neal. All right, Ekwonu or Cross, one of those 3, and and either one of those 4 edge rushers, Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, or look for maybe Stingley or Sauce Gardner. So either one of those 3 tackles or one of those 4 edge rushers. I mean, I'm sure Hutchinson's probably not going to reach him or whatever, but I mean, one of those 4 edge rushers or one of those 2 cornerbacks. So look for one guy on offense and look for one guy on defense tonight, draft night. Yes. Well, guys, always thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants.